Hello everyone, my name is Dakocity Live. Today we're diving into the story of Divine Knockout, a game that promised a lot but fell a little bit short. We're gonna explore what this game is all about and speculate why it couldn't maintain its stride in the gaming world. If you're ready for some gaming history and analysis, smash that like button and let's get started. First off, let's talk about what Divine Knockout was. Released in December 6th, 2022. It was a unique blend of a 3D platformer and a fighting game. It set itself apart from other 2D traditional fighters with its dynamic arenas and mythologically inspired characters. Why did I write it like that? Each character, or more accurately, God, had 4 unique abilities. Generally 1 movement ability, 2 either damage or utility abilities, and then an ultimate, as well as light attacks and heavy attacks. Heavies could also be charged for different other kinds of attacks. I don't know why that was so hard to say. It was like if Smite had a baby with Smash Brothers, and then they took it to the 3rd dimension. There's a Z-axis in this game, ladies and gentlemen. There were several game modes, such as 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. The 3v3 modes generally had either just a flat-out knockout mode, where you just had to kill the enemy team in rounds. There was an oddball game mode, where there's an oddball in the game, and someone has to grab it, hold on to it. The longer your team holds on to it, the more points you get. King of the Hill, Domination, and a coin collecting mode. This was more so for the casual audience, whereas 1v1 and 2v2 was where the game really shined, in a competitive aspect anyway. I don't know how to segue this section, so we're just gonna do this. Do the whoosh one. I like that one. Upon its release, Divine Knockout garnered a bit of a positive reception for its innovative approach, at least somewhat innovative. We don't have much good 3D platform fighters out there. In fact, I can't even really think of any. Let me know in the comments if there is some that I should check out, because it is a very fun genre. The game played very well, was easy to pick up, and felt like there was some depth, really not much there, to be honest. As someone who played it pretty much competitively, I was like top 20 on the leaderboards for a decent amount of time, constantly versing people who were like top 5, which, by the way, if you're watching this video, I hate you. Thanks for stressing me out. But it was a completely solid game that you could pick up with your friends. There were plenty of chances to get it for free, although that was a thorn in its side. It had a hefty price tag for the amount of content it had. There was no single player mode. There were private matches, but there wasn't enough content in the game to warrant being what was it? I'm having a hard time finding the original price, but I think it was around $40 to $50. Granted, that was to get into the early access, but soon you'll see it's plagued by the thing that many games fall victim to, which is being in early access and then never coming out. But despite all that, it did have a pretty positive reception. The community was very active. It had a sizable fan base. I would know, I was a content creator for it. I was averaging around like 1,000 to 5,000 views per video, just pumping out gameplay vids every single day with people constantly commenting in them, talking about game balance and what next, and what should you play next and stuff like that. So the game clearly had a thriving fan base. A small one, but one you would expect for a game like this. It had places to go. It had a future, a bright one in fact. But unfortunately, sometimes bright futures end very dramatically bad. But despite its initial promise, Divine Knockout started to see a decline in both player attention and dev communication. So let's break it down. Market competition, I didn't see being a huge problem, considering this game was taking fans from Smite into it, because the games are somewhat similar, made by the same people, using the same characters. And honestly, if you play Smite, you could handle this game pretty well. It's pretty much the same thing. It's basically a MOBA fighting game in 3D. But titles like Smash Brothers, Multiverses, etc., although Multiverses I think was not in existence at this point. Praying for that to come back and be awesome. Please put Godzilla in it. I might make a video on that too on the channel soon. Brawlhalla, etc., etc. Definitely took some players away from this, because this clearly didn't have as much content as those other games. Gameplay imbalance was another huge issue. Certain characters on release and just in general were unbalanced hell for a long time. In fact, Sun Wukong is still broken in my eyes. And again, top 20 player, by the way. If I wanted to win a round, I would pick Sun Wukong. Amaterasu was absolutely insane. Still kind of is in 1v1, to be honest. She had insta-kill options at like level 1. Not level 1. There's no levels, you know, like instantly, like one shot, one kill type of stuff. Susanoo could wipe entire teams by himself when he was first released. Not first released, the game, he came with the game. You still had to buy him, but you know, they didn't release him, is what I'm saying. He's an OG character. A very strong OG character, just like Amaterasu. Very quick, completely overloaded kit. Basically had 6 abilities. Very strong neutral game. Just overall annoying as hell to deal with and just completely broken. When they released Zeus, that was actually a solid release in my opinion. Then they released Loki, and oh boy, that was something. Loki, oh my god. Just basically another Amaterasu who could go invisible. Insane damage. The game suffered from a lot of game imbalance just because there was multiple game modes that they had to balance around. I, for one, was of the opinion that they should balance around 2v2, but the game was clearly balanced around 3v3 because a lot of characters' ultimates would not come up at all, despite it kind of being dog crap in 1v1. For example, Emir. His ultimate's absolutely insane. It's triple kill extravaganza. The issue is, though, in 1v1, you basically never get it up, whereas Amaterasu will get her ult up in like a couple seconds, and it's an insta-kill button in 1v1. They had to nerf that into the ground. That thing has no knockback now compared to what it used to be. Lack of content updates eventually was one of the huge nails in the coffin. It struggled to keep just any updates at all. Once they released the character, that was pretty much it. Maybe a balance update here or there. They had one event with a battle pass where it was just, what is it, the Frost Fire Giant or whatever event, where Emir got a magma skin. It was a really cool skin. They added a couple new maps, which were good maps. The issue is there wasn't enough content. The content they were adding, honestly, even though the characters were broken, they were really fun and really good. Like, I liked them adding Loki and Zeus and Wukong. I liked the new maps that they added. They were all solid content added. It just was not enough for a game that was $40 to $50. I might have been 30. But I'm pretty sure my head's telling me it was $40 to $50, dude. I got it for free because I got it for one of my friends gave it to me through a code, one of my fellow YouTubers. But it just wasn't enough to keep the game fresh. And it's a damn shame because this all dominoed effect. Since there was no content coming out, the community engagement, there's no more community engagement. Nothing for people to talk about. And it's funny because there's still people kind of, you know, talking in the Discord and stuff, but it's just not like what it used to be. And why would it be? The devs have completely abandoned the game. Hi-Rez just basically put this under the rug for nothing. And this honestly isn't much of a downfall thing, but I'm gonna go over this in a second. Hopefully I can get some B-roll of this. I was in the partner program for the game. That's right. This early access fighting game that I'm sure they had no plans of actually carrying through with it, because that's what they do with all of their games over there at Hi-Rez. They would get content creators and basically give them a set of rules to follow to stay in the program, which offered them pretty much nothing. I didn't get anything. I didn't get a skin in a game. I got a little tag, a special tag in their Discord server, and a little, you know, I was in the partner program chat. I could talk to other partners. But in exchange for that, I had to allegedly make like, what, 5 videos a week on the game or something like that. I'll show in the B-roll, it'll show it on the email. I'll find the email after this. But it was something kind of crazy. Like, I had to make this my game, which I was fine with because it was already my game. The channel was blowing up doing this. For a small YouTuber like me, being able to upload 30-minute videos of me playing a fighting game, just raw gameplay, barely any edits, still hit over like 5,000 views per video. Absolutely insane. Incredible. Obviously didn't last very long though. Makes me a very sad boy. The devs just completely gave up on it. And that might have something to do with Hi-Rez. I know they laid off a lot of people. I'm pretty sure, to my knowledge, the people who used to work on Divine Knockout just don't anymore. It is now in maintenance mode. They're not receiving any content updates despite there being leaks of Arachne, of Fenrir. Gods I would have loved to see in the game. We have their character models, but they're just not there. And they're never getting added probably. And it's a damn shame too, because the game saw a resurgence of players once it went free to play, which it should have always been free to play. This is a title. They had microtransactions. They had battle passes. It took so long to grind for a god. There was no reason why this was a $40 game. And yet it should should have been free. It should have been free from the start. Once it went free on Xbox, despite it being in maintenance mode, despite it not getting any updates, went free on Steam, went free on PlayStation, Xbox. Tons of people drove in to try the game because it is a solid, fun game to just go in and relax with. It's plagued with bots now, but it used to just be a solid, just fun fighting game to get like 30 to an hour of your time. Just blow it away playing the game. And you feel good the entire time doing it. Unless you're versus Amaterasu pre-patch. My videos saw a resurgence of viewership once it went free to play. And I was mind boggled. I'm like, what the hell happened? Free to play. That should have been like that from the start. Too bad it's not getting any updates. I don't know why you even made this change. Speaking of free to play, it used to eventually become free to play for like a day, unannounced pretty much, on like Steam or Epic Store. And that's how they would get you to join the game, to try it out. And then if you download it then you get it free forever. Why even put a price tag on it to begin with? A game's lifespan heavily depends on its community. Divine Knockout had a very, very passionate initial following, and to be honest, it still does have a ton of fans, but it's just not enough. The devs faced challenges in maintaining player interest, which is code for they didn't make content, and without a strong player base, the game just struggles. It's just not gonna survive in an environment like that. Even after the game died, like just basically died, you know, the devs aren't working on it anymore, maintain the maintenance mode, cringe, goofy mode. People still played the game every single day. I eventually quit because I had to move on to other things, but there were plenty of content creators out there that still made content for like months after it went in the maintenance mode. And that just goes to show you how easy it is, like how replayable this game is and how passionate people were about it. We wanted to see this thing do well, and yet it just didn't. And it wasn't even the players' base's fault. It was the damn dev. It was the damn high-res cringe. You should hit that like and subscribe button if you made it this far, by the way. Despite its downfall, Divine Knockout does teach us a few valuable lessons about the gaming industry. Innovation alone isn't enough. I just hit my elbow on my desk. Continuous development, community engagement, and strategic marketing. Oh my god, I didn't even touch the marketing. The marketing was non-existent for this game. Like, I would see a YouTube ad here and there, but I really just didn't see this game anywhere. And I was playing it, typing in it in my computer, so it should have been everywhere for me. But yeah, all those things are just key to a game's longevity, and they missed the mark on so many, despite having a freaking solid, absolutely solid skeleton for a game. So Divine Knockout had potential, but couldn't quite stick the landing. It had a solid skeleton, like I just said, of a game. Very fun, very passionate community, had a lot going for it, made a lot of mistakes, should have been free to play. Game was a little too simple to be an esport, although they could have easily fixed that with a few minor twitches. I mean, it was an early access, so you could do whatever the hell you want with it. In the end, it's just an absolute shame that we're not gonna see this game reach its full potential. But what do you think? Could anything have saved Divine Knockout? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, folks. If you like this deep dive, give it a thumbs up on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more gaming content. And be sure to also go in the description below to follow my Twitch, because sometimes I do stream eventually. And also just check out the link tree in general, because there's Patreon, donation links, all this nonsense. I am in a very bad spot in life right now and I need help. You can check out my old channel too if you want to watch Divine Knockout gameplay pretty much uncut. I have a whole playlist. I think I have over 100 videos playing the game. But until next time, keep gaming and stay awesome. I'm Dakocity, and I'll see you soon.